Welcome everybody to the second game of the weekend. This game is in Mount Laurel against the Igloo Jaguars. Start us off today. Luca, Bart, Kobe, Tobin, and Ricky with Aiden Mott in net. Looks like we're all set. Puck is down, back over, Igloo gathers it, sends it up the boards, tips it in all the way to the back wall. Tobin back, sends it over to the opposite side, picked up by Ricky in the corner. Luca tries to clear it out, Ricky's there. Battling for it, picked up by Bart. Bart sends it back up, over to Luca. Luca tangled up in the neutral zone. Igloo picks it up, sends it up, picked up by Kobe. Kobe takes a shot down, goes off a defender right at the neutral zone. Jaguars send it deep. Aiden all the way back, sends it back up over to Ricky. Ricky picks it up, looking. Thought about it. All the way back up, try to hit Kobe. Kobe pulls a guy off the puck. Tobin circles back around, all the way back up to Doc, who's fresh on the ice. Doc makes his way around the guy, looking for a little bit of help. Waits. Got Lucas. Lucas gets a shot attempt off, goes to the back wall after Lucas tried to clear it out to the neutral zone. Tobin sends it in, cleared the zone. That'll be an icing call on the Jags. Ben, Lucas, Doc, Bops, and Thief out on the ice. Puck is down into the corner. Jags control sent around the opposite side. Bops charged from the blue line. Holds it up, looks. Nice centering pass attempt on net. Jags come across the neutral zone, now across the blue line. Backhand, goes across crease all the way back down. Shifted all the way back up. Jags get it. Turn, have to clear the zone. Cycled back on the other side. Bops over to charge forward. Gets it up, cleared down. Lucas on the forecheck. Jaguars try to clear it, top in the neutral zone. Goaltender puts it down, sends it back behind the net. Jaguars looking to cycle it up. Bops knocks it back down. Bops sends it deep. Jaguars pick it up. Again to the neutral zone, all the way back down. Aiden shuffles it back over. Peruto waiting for it. All the way over to the opposite side wall. Cusa sends it into the neutral zone. Lang out on the ice with Peruto. Peruto tried to kick it forwards, unable to do so. Lang back over. Sent back out. Aiden drops it into the neutral zone, back over to Peruto. Peruto takes a swipe at it. Cusa back charging for it. Zone is cleared, back over to Peruto. Peruto tagged up against the boards. Loses an edge, chips on the stick. Aiden, nice save. Line change. Bart, Jake, Luca. Puck's down, back over. Bart cycles it back over to Lang. Lang taps it forward. Jags try to turn and shoot. Luca overruns the puck, back out to Bart. Bart over to Luca. Luca had Jake on the opposite side. Jake circles back right to the slot. Nice pass to Bart. Bart got a shot off and went just wide, and that scored. Jake Heston gets on the board first after a nice rebound center pass. So Jake Heston. So Bart on the face-off. Back opposite side over to Ricky. Ricky sends up the leg. Back over to opposite side to Lang. The assist went to Luca on that. Jags come across, gets a shot attempt off, and Aiden with a glove down. Lucas, Doc, Ben. With Tobin and Bops on the defensive end. Puts down, Tobin tried to swipe at it. Back over the opposite side. Shot attempt goes wide. Jags pick it up. Nice shot attempt. Aiden with a nice blocker side save. Cycle back over to Bops. Bops. Try to clear it back out. Lucas back over to pick it up. Back over to Tobin. Tobin goes long into the neutral zone, and that's an offsides. Lucas, Doc, and Ben out on the ice. Back over to Tobin. Tobin cycles it back over to Bops. Bops sends it deep all the way around to the opposite side. Goalie tried to come out of the net. Colin drops it back down. Lucas cycles it back over to Colin. Jags come away with it. Shot on net. Aiden guides it to the back wall. Jags get to it. Lucas stumbles but gets it off his stick. Shot attempt. Back over. Nice pass over to Colin. Doc sends it deep. Line change. Jags off the wall. Doc with a good pressure onto the puck. Nichols on the ice with him. Bops. Tobin on the back check. Opposite side. Good back check by Peruto. Peruto tries to center it. That was a weird play. Puck was in the crease. Winger from Jags lost his stick, tried to kick it down. Back over to the opposite side. Tobin tries to send it up the wall, back over to Doc. Doc looking, gets it out into the neutral zone. Nichols picks it up. Nichols dumps it in. Bruto tried to get to it. Nichols back out to the point to Lang. Lang. Shot attempt, redirected. Goaltender knocks it back. Thies all the way back. Thies, good battle along the boards. Lang gathers it, sends it back. Tusa back onto the ice. No call. Sent back out to Nichols. Nichols opposite side. Nice pick to Zimmerman, who was just onto the ice. Lang. Should be a high stick. No call. Picked back up by Bart. Bart sends it to the back wall. He's got two guys on him. Sends it back out to the point. Picked up by Thies. Thies back over to Bart. Bart tried to get it by a defender. Is unable to do so. Swipes at it again. Center pass by Kobe.
High stick!
Oh, wow. That puck just dribbled past the outside edge of the goal. Comes all the way back out to the opposite end. Picked back up by the Jags. Heston back up to do a little pressure onto the puck. Jags Get it? Try to send it back. Kobe back over to help. Jag charging forward. Send it deep. Aiden against the back wall. Kick it back out. Cycle it back out to Kobe. Kobe, 2-on-2 opportunity. Tries to beat his man around. Looking. Centering pass. Try to get it to Doc. Doc lost it. Lucas out on the ice. Sent back out to Tobin. Tobin. Try to send it back. Doc is there. Picked up by Lucas. Lucas try to cycle it back over to Doc. Back center ice. All the way down. Around the corner. Lucas back over to help. Centering pass goes all the way to the opposite side wall. Center pass back out to the Jags. Aiden with a guide into the corner, picked up by Tobin. Tobin tries to center around the opposite side. Doc's there, comes around, back out. Try to hit Lucas. Back along the boards to Ricky. Ricky gets it out, back over to Lucas. Scott Fisher on the opposite side. Tried to get over to him, knocked back down, picked up the Doc. Scores! Doc with a wrister hit the top shelf for the second goal at the 8:33 mark. As Lucas to Doc. Puck's down. Bobs is there. Puck's all the way to the back wall. Thies charging over. Comes out off the blue line. Nichols back over to help. Shuffles it back into the corner. Cusick gathers it looking. Centering pass, try to make it out to the point to Bob's opposite side, picked up to Thies. Thies sends it back to the back wall. Shuffles back over to Cusick. Cusick drops it back over. Nice shot by Peruto. Oh, nice attempt. Peruto tried to get a shot. Goes off the side of the net, picked up by Nichols on the opposite side. Picked up as a rebound by Bops. Bops gets a shot attempt. Redirected wide. Back out to Cuse. Cuse circles around. Sends it over to the opposite side. Peruto's there. Looks. Gets it to Nichols. Nichols gets a shot attempt off. Thies sends it down the wall. Aiden guides it. Back out to Peruto. Peruto turns. Line change for Team Philadelphia. Jags gather. Heston back up, little token pressure. Lucas at the neutral zone. Sent all the way back. Lang, try to pick it up. Luca back into the corner, did fight for the puck. Comes out. Ricky back over to help. Jag send it out to the point. Get a shot attempt off. Goes wide. Jags. Good pressure by Luca. Get the puck out in the neutral zone. Send it over to the opposite side. Come across the blue line. Gain the zone. Push around. Circles back. Aiden stands his ground. Keeps it up. And there'll be an icing call. With a 6:03 mark left in the first period. 2-0 Team Philadelphia. Lucas on the face-off. shot attempt. Aiden knocks it to the back wall. Aiden puts a stick on it. Aiden, Lucas tried a back pass. Aiden with a nice chest save. Picked up by Lucas. Lucas back over to Doc. Doc sends it deep. Lucas all the way to the back wall. Picks it up, looking. Sends it out to Bobst. Bobst couldn't control, had a defender in his back pocket. Sends it deep. Aiden sends it up the wall. Fisher. Collection of players at the blue line. Jaguars try to jam it forward. Doesn't make it out. Fisher on the forecheck. Doc over to put pressure on the puck. Jaguars beat around the corner, come all the way, and it goes out of play. .53 left in the first period. Jags get it, send it deep into the zone. Tobin picks it up, looking for a little help. Tobin back out to Cusa. Cusa. Jags send it out to the point. Aiden gloves it back down. Kobe gets it, sends it forward back over to Cusa. Cusa dumps it, gets around the first defender, back into the corner. Kobe tries to pull it through. Sent back out, Peace. Pulls up, back over to Tobin. Tobin tried to send it over to the opposite side to Kobe. Kobe. Jags sent it into the zone. Peace. Jags, centering pass. Dump it into the opposite side corner. Try to center it out. And makes its way out. Kobe in a foot race. Tried to get a shot attempt off. Nichols drags it forward. Looks around. Looking for a little help. Goes all the way around. Sends it over to the opposite side. Kobe takes a swipe at it. Picked up by Cusa. Nice pass. Kobe gets a shot attempt off. Goaltender's blocker side save into the corner. Kobe, center pass. Right to the slot. Nobody was there. Aiden comes out of net. Drops it back over. Kobe taps forward. No icing. Team Philly rotates lines. Luca, Jake, Bart out on the ice. Jags cycle around the opposite side. 3 minutes left in the first period. Aiden gathers it, cycles back out. Oh, Lang with the back check. I don't know if there's a call on that. Nope, no call. Bart gets a shot attempt off and goes high over the top of the net to the back wall. Bart's there. Back into the slot. Jaguars pick it up. Send it all the way up, and that'll be an icing call. Bart on the face-off. 2:27 left first period. Puck is down. Luca back over on the forecheck. Gets squeezed off the puck. Jake back over in the corner. Makes its way out to the neutral zone. Ricky takes a stab at it. Sends it back over to the opposite side. Bart. Pressure onto the puck. Ricky's back over. And Aiden with a nice glove save. Lucas, Doc, Ben. Puck's down. One back. Ricky's back against the back wall. Shuffles it back over to Lang. Lang picks it up in the corner. Sends it back up into the neutral zone. Lucas picks it up. That's an offside. Actually, sorry, hand pass. Same lineup. Puck's down. Back over to Ricky at the neutral zone. Ricky sends it on net. Jags try to clear it back out. Picked up by Ben. Try to dump it in. Picked up. Little confusion there. Lucas shuffles it back out. Gets it over to Ricky. Ricky, shot attempt off. Ooh! And a backhand score by Ben Fisher. So a shot from the point by Ricky. Ricochets off. Ben gathers it and puts it in the back of the net at the 121 mark to make this 3-0. Cusa. Peruto with the shot attempt. All the way to the back wall, picked up by Cusa, cycles it back over to Tobin. Thought about 1 minute left in the period. Jag sent it on neck. Aiden gloves it down. Peruto, Nichols, Cusa. Puck is down, back out. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols got Peruto in front of him, just outside of his reach. Nichols sends it over to the opposite side. Goes long, no icing. Picked up by Aiden. Aiden shuffles it around to the opposite corner. Tobin puts some pressure on the puck. Igloo couldn't control it. Gets it its way out to the neutral zone. Cusa back over, putting some pressure on, knocks it free. Cusa with forecheck pressure. Nichols into the corner, tries to knock it down. Tobin's there at the blue line. Peruto. Oh, picked up at the blue line by Nichols. Oh my gosh, had Cusa, with time running out, had an opportunity to get on the board again. So at the end of one, Team Philly is up 3-0. right, start of second period, 3-0 Team Philadelphia. Lucas, Doc, Ben, Lang, and Thies on the defensive side. Puck's down, Jags send it back, opposite, now into the neutral zone, picked up by Thies, try to tap it forward. Doc, try to cycle it back, over to Thies, and it makes its way all the way to the back wall. Thies on the back check, Thies sends it up the wall, picked up by Fisher, Fisher goes long to Doc. Penalty coming up on the Jags for a roughing call on Ben Fisher. So at the 6:36 mark, the Jags will be down a man. Team Philly put their special teams power play on the ice. Ben, Doc, Lucas, Nichols, Bops. All the way to the corner, Lucas.
Jaguars, 18AA, number 18, Jack Shelley Minor, penalty.
All the way back out to Nichols at the point. Cycles it back over to Fisher. Fisher.
Remaining of the second period.
Back out to Lucas in the corner. Lucas looking. Saucer pass out to Nichols. Nichols gets a shot attempt off. Goes off a defender's stick. Makes its way into the neutral zone. Lucas picks it up. Cycles it back over to Doc. Doc charges up, sends it deep, cycle around the opposite side. Lucas backhands all the way to the corner. Bops is there. That's okay, good. And Jags send it all the way down ice. Aiden knocks it back. Sends it back all the way up to Doc. Doc puts a stick on it, all the way to the back wall. Jags lose an edge. Corner. 50 seconds left on the power play. Nichols waiting. Back out. Gets tipped. Nichols comes up. Back out to Kobe. Kobe cycles it around to the opposite side. Peruto out on the ice. Thies back over to help. Peruto turns. Sends it down ice. Back out to the point to Nichols. Nichols looks opposite side over to Doc. Knocked down in front. Nichols grabs it with his hand. Doc. And that gets cleared. So 7 seconds left on power play. Nichols gathers it. 3, 2, 1. And it's even strength. Cusa looking. Back out to Peruto. Peruto tried to turn and backfire it over to Bops. Ricky on the back check. Feed back into the slot. Bops is there to knock it back down, and that goes out of play. Peruto, Bops, Lang, Cusa. Ref rotates face off. Cusa picks it up. Sends it back over to Peruto. Peruto, opposite side over to Bops. Bops across the blue line. Drops it back over to Peruto. Peruto back into the corner. Bops back over to fight for it. Penalty coming up on Bops. penalty on Bops at the 13:46 mark. Bart, Luca, out on the ice to try to kill this off. Back out to the point.
Team Philadelphia 18AA number 88, David Bob, minor penalty for running. Time of the penalty.
Ricky back out on the ice.
13:46 remaining of the
Jags
second
shuffle it
period.
back the opposite side. Knocked back down by Bart. Back over to the back wall. Ricky putting pressure onto the puck. Jags gather it. Send it back out to the wing. Out to the point. Shot attempt goes wide. And that goes into the protective netting. .16 left second period, 3-0 Team Philly. Puck's down, back over to the back wall. Ricky tries to send it back up. Luca charged after it. Jags gather it. Release it back out to the point. Cycle it back down. Lang back over putting pressure on it. Jags. Shot attempt goes wide. One minute left on Team Philadelphia's penalty. Jags sent it all the way back out to the point. Knocked down in front. Now it makes its way out to the neutral zone. Puck's all the way to the opposite side. Jags put it into the neutral zone. Good pressure by Nichols. Jags have to regroup. Now come across. Gain the zone, send it around the opposite side. Aiden comes out of net. Jags send it back out. 25 seconds left. Back out to the point. Wow, redirect goes just wide. I think Aiden may have gotten a blocker on it. Knocked down in the neutral zone again. Jags dumped it all the way to the back wall. Picked up by Ricky. Ricky sends it all the way back, and that'll kill the penalty.
Team Philadelphia 1AA has returned to full strength.
Jags knock it back over. Nichols shot attempt. Nice pullback by Huston to try to get back on net again. All the way into the corner. Something happening in the corner. It's hard to see here. Shuffled back over to Peace. Peace. All the way back over to Lucas. Lucas. Try to pull it back through. Sends it back out to Tobin at the point. Tobin cycles it back down to Doc. Lucas, point blank shot. Goes wide of the net. Tobin, back out to Lucas. Lucas got Doc on the wing. Scores. So cycle up. Lucas comes down, drops it on the wing, and Colin finds a crease between the goaltender and the post and puts it in for the fourth goal of the game.
Team Philadelphia 1AA goal scored by number 11 Paul Donovan, assisted by number 52 Swamp and number 42 Sean Tobin. Time of the goal 10:46 remaining of the second period.
So assist by Lucas and Tobin. Doc tries to pull it back. Well, it looked like it could have been offsides. Fisher gets a shot attempt off. Doc pulls the defender off the puck. Try to get it to the opposite side. Jags get it. Send it deep. Tobin on the back check. Sends it up the wall. Shuffled in to the opposite side. Jags. Aiden with a nice kick save. comes up the ice, looking for a little help. Opposite side had Fisher coming up the crease. Stopped at the point by Thies. Thies gets a shot off. Doc back over to Fisher. Fisher behind the net. Fisher hits Doc. Doc looking. Step it over to Thies. Thies. Opposite side over to Tobin. Lucas in the corner. Starts to pass out. Tobin gets a shot attempt off and goes just wide. Doc's there. Turns. Lucas turns and fires. Whips on the puck. Jags come across the blue line. Pressure by Thies. Good check. Back out to Tobin. Tobin goes long to Doc. Back out to Fisher. Try to hit Fisher coming down the slot. Back out to Bobst. Cusa gathers it. Cusa puts the guy on the back. Backhand goes just wide into the corner. Back out to Bobst at the point. Sends it over to the opposite corner. Nichols over with Cusa. Nichols picks it up. Has it stripped away from him. Good stick by Bobst. Bruto out on the ice. Bobst reads the defense. Try to backhand. Back over. Sent all the way back. Hayden picks it up. Shuffles it around the opposite side. Cusa back over. Turns to try to clear the zone. Hayden with a glove save. Nichols on the faceoff. Cusa and Lang with him with Peruto. Sent all the way up. Peruto's back over, looking. He's got Cusa following up with him. And Nichols. Peruto tried to turn and fire. Back out to Bobst. Delayed offsides. Team Philly clears the zone. Jags shuffle it across. Now it's all the way down into the corner. Lang on the back check all the way into the corner. Turns. Puck gets knocked over to the back wall. Cusa gathers it. Has it knocked away. Lang. Jaguars looked like they were going to get an opportunity. They didn't. Nichols comes across the blue line, try to get it out to Cusa. Cusa centers it, goes across crease to the opposite wall. Peruto picks it up, drops it down behind the net. Jags get it out to the neutral zone. Good stick by Ricky. Lang gathers it. It should be an offsides, and Jags now clear the zone. Ricky back all the way down. No icing. Heston with Bart out on the ice, picked up. Centering pass. Oh my gosh. Nice centering pass by Kobe to Bart. Bart couldn't capitalize on it. Back out to Tobin. Tobin sends it deep. Goaltender knocks it down. Picked up by defender. Heston with good pressure onto the puck. Bart's back over. Ricky's there. Stops it. Sends it all the way back to the opposite corner. Jags cycle against the wall. Come across the neutral zone. Back over to Tobin. Tobin. Toby had it on his stick. Knocked down. Picked up by Tobin all the way against the back wall. And that goes out of play. Lucas, Doc, Ben, Ricky, and Tobin. Jags back behind the net. Tobin, good pressure on the puck. Center pass goes right to Doc. Doc goes opposite side to Fisher. Fisher drops it in. Goaltender tried to come out. Lucas back on the opposite side. Cycles it back into the corner. Loses his stick. Doc shuffles it back over to Lucas. Lucas looking. Turns. Back over to Doc. Over to Lucas. Back out to the point to Ricky. Opposite side over to Tobin. Tobin back into the slot to Lucas. Lucas tried to feed. Had it poked away. Back into the neutral zone. Tobin's there. Picked up by Doc. Doc looking. Oh, goes off the crossbar. Back out to Ricky at the point. .430 left second period. 4-0 Team Philadelphia. Thies and Bops on the defensive end. Jaguars win the face-off. Sent back over to the opposite side. Try to clear it. Bops gathers it. Cycles it back over to Thies. Thies. Bops sends it deep. All the way to the back wall. Doc picks it up, turns, and tries to clear the zone. Makes its way all the way to the back wall. Fisher on the forecheck, looks to pick it up. Lucas pokes it through. Thies dumps it back over to the back wall. Thies thought about a shot on it. Kites keep it in, maintain the zone. Lucas picks it back out to the point, to Bops. Picked up by Doc. Back out to Lucas. Oh, nice feed back to the opposite side. So Lucas toyed with the goaltender, dropped it to the left over to Doherty, and Doherty gets his second goal of the game to make this a 5-0 game, which would be a running clock.
Go, Jack.
Puck drop, Nichols, Cuso.
Team Philadelphia won a goal scored by number 11, Paul Doherty, assisted by number 53, Lucas Mott, and number 86, Brady Houston. Time of the goal, 8:25 remaining in the second period.
Opposite side, so Cuso on the assist with that as well too. Picked up by Thies. Thies back over to Cuso. Cuso drops it back over to Thies. Dumps it all the way back in. Kobe sends it over to the opposite side. Pulls it through, looks, sends it back out to the point to Thies. Thies. Nichols on the face-off. Back out to the point to Thies. Thies dumps it in. Cusa on the opposite side. Thies comes off the blue line. Try to keep it in. Sent all the way back out. Bops. Laid offside. Team Philly clears. Cycles back over. Thies on the back check. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols looks, makes a move around, comes across, gets a shot attempt off. Goaltender steers it to the back wall. Jags come across the blue line, send it to the opposite side. Aiden with a nice kick save. Cusa's got Nichols with him, also with 3 Jaguars. Cusa try to get a shot attempt off. Kobe's there. And the goaltender gloves it. Luka back out to the point. Lang takes a swipe at it. And was that a save? I believe so. So shot. Jags back over the opposite side, over to Bart. Bart. It's knocked off the puck. Back all the way. Ricky sends it back over. Luka couldn't control, jumps the stick at Jake. Now it's back over to Lang. 8, 7, 6. And that is the end of the second period. So Team Philly up 5-0. Started third period, 5-0 Team Philadelphia. Bart, Luka, Jake with Lang and Ricky. Puck's down, back over to Lang. Lang gets it over to Luka. Luka tries to tap it forward. Jags cycle back around the other side. Jags send it into the Luka zone, gets all the way back. Ricky's there. Shot attempt, Aiden. So crease violation by the Jags. over to Ricky. Ricky jumps it back over to Luca. Luca just outside of his reach. Jags pull it back. Send it to neutral zone. Ricky shuffles it around the opposite side over to Lang. Lang sends it deep all the way to the back wall. Jags shuffle up. Bart, good pressure onto the puck. Doc picks it up. He's got a couple guys. Doc on 4 guys here. Try to tap it back. Ricky on the back check. As Jags try to steal one up the sideboards. Pick back up. Fisher's back over there. Clears back over to Doc. He's got Lucas coming in. Try to lead him. Just a little too much. Doc knocks it back down. Now it comes into the neutral zone. Bops. Team Philly clears the zone. Goaltender knocks it back. Bops to the back wall. Picked up by Lucas. Lucas. Back out to Ben. Ben sends it to the opposite side. Ben picks it up. Looked like he tried to get a shot attempt off. Redirected, goes over to the side wall. Jags try to tap it forward, get around. Aiden, point blank, save. Wow. Nichols, Cusa, with Kobe out on the ice. And there's a score by the Jags. As the shot comes out, Rickersay's off and a slight tap around Aiden. So it makes this a 5-1 game at the 3:13:40 mark. Puck's down, Jags.
Debuting Jaguars 1-8 goal scored by number 72 Shane Hicks, assisted by number 28 Colton Williams. Time of the goal 13:40 remaining in the third period.
Puck comes all the way back out. Wow, got lucky. Shot attempt goes off the top bar, back over the opposite side to Kobe. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols, pressure down. Looking for a little bit of help, sends it out to the point to Thies. Thies drops it all the way to the back wall. Sent all the way back. Lang, try to clear the zone. Good pressure by Thies. Center attempt goes out to Nichols, back over to Kobe. Kobe takes a shot attempt. .32 left. Back out to the point to Tobin. Tobin, shot attempt. Goaltender gloves it. Luca, Bart, and Jake on the ice with Tobin and Ricky. Jaguars turn and center it back the opposite side. Tobin tried to stop it at the center line. Aiden tries to lift it out. Nice pickup by Luca. Jake and Luca to put pressure on the puck. Jaguars gather. Get it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Ricky. Ricky dumps it in. Goaltender knocks it down. 11:50 left in the game. Back out to Tobin. Tobin into the neutral zone. Doc on the ice. Doc dumps it in all the way to the opposite side. Fisher's out with him. Lucas joins him. Fisher. Back over to Doc. Doc looking. Center pass back over. Fisher loses an edge. Jags try to get something set up. Tap it forward. Back over. Tobin on the back check. Back over to Ricky. Ricky cycles it up the boards. Back over to Doc. Doc tried to tap it back. Lucas, stick lift, picks it up. Comes back over to Doc. Filters it back opposite side. Looking. Oh, puck was right there. Tobin turns the puck down, over. Back over to Lucas. Lucas tried a backhand. Puck is right there. Gets all the way back. And that'll be an icing call. Line change. Cusa, Peruto, Nichols, Bobs, and Thies out onto the ice. Picked up. Nice shot by Cusa. Loves that shot. Try it again, Nichols. Jags pick it up. Try to send it up the board. Take a wicked bounce off the stanchion. Back over to Cusa. Cusa thought about putting it out to the point. Pulls it back. Back over to Peruto. Peruto with a nice shot. Cycles it back over to Cusa. Cusa drops it back into the corner. Back out. Thies sends it over to the opposite corner. Back out to Cusa. Cusa. Wow, turn and fire. Goes high and to the back glass. Bops is there. Goaltender steers it back over to the corner. Bops gets it back at the point again. Shot attempt goes wide. Picked up at the point by Thies. Thies. Redirect. Goes over top. Thies knocks it down. 2-on-1 opportunity. Bops is there. And that's a backhand and scores. So the Jags get on the board for a second time, 5-2, after a breakout. At the 9:26 mark, 5-2. All the way back. Kobe puts pressure on. Back out to Lang. Kobe beats this guy back into the corner, looking for a little help. Center pass. Right to Luca. Luca had a shot. Goal. Kobe knocks it down. Back all the way to the center ice. Red line. Opposite side. Jags send it back out to the point. Tangled up. Doc, Lucas, Ben. Puck's down. Jags gather at the back wall. Shot attempt. Aiden steers it wide. Pick back up. Doc in a foot race. Knocks it away. Ben over to help out. Jags knock it back down. Lucas tried to center it back up to Ben. Ben gathers back out to Doc. Doc looking, centers, back out. Nice pass to the opposite side for Fisher. Goaltender reacted quickly. Put a glove on it. .10 left in the game. 5-2 Team Philly. Nice center pass. Fisher had a shot attempt again. Lang. Blocker side save by the goaltender. Fisher. Back over to Doc. Doc looking. Center and pass. Tried to get there. Back out to Doc. Oh my gosh. Shot attempt bar down and doesn't stay in the goal. Lucas gloves it back down, pick back up. Oh, hits Doc on the opposite side. Doc whips on the puck. Lucas turns and fires, goes wide of the net. Ricky charges from the blue line. Try to pick it up. Doc back over to help. Stick down on the ground. Picked back up by Lucas at the point. Lucas. Try to soft feed into the net. 2-on-1 opportunity. Wow. Now it comes out to the neutral zone. 6:44 left in the third period. Jags pull the goalie. So Jags had a 6-man on the ice. Lang maneuvers around. I think Lang's going to get called for a check, cross check. Let's see what the call is here. What? So Ricky gets the call, and Lang also is in the box. So it's going to be a 5-on-3. Team Philly will actually have 2 guys in the box. One is going to be so Jaguars call a timeout. So Ricky and Lang are in the box. And there looks like to be a 2 and 10 on maybe Lang. Jags will pull their goaltender. So have actually a 6-on-3. So Tobin, Nichols, and Bart out on the ice. Actually, the Jags keep their goaltender in net. So 5-on-3. 6:26 left in the game. Puck's down, back over, sent out to the point, opposite side.
Number 5, Ricky Wright, minor penalty for roughing. Time of the penalty, 6:26 remaining of the third period.
Opposite side, picked up in the point.
Number 47, lane minor plus misconduct penalty.
Shot attempt, whips on the puck,
Time of the penalty, 6:26 remaining of the third
and
period.
Aiden gloves it down. Nichols on a face-off. Back over to Tobin. Tobin has his stick lifted, 2 guys on him. Nichols back over to help him out. Nichols helping out Tobin. Jags drag it back out to the point. Center. And Aiden with a nice grab to glove it down. Luca comes on the ice to replace Bart. Puck's down, back over to Luca. Luca tries to clear the zones, unable to do so. Back to the other side, out to the point. Jags dragged it clear, back out again to the point again. Shot goes wide, all the way to the opposite corner. Back out to the point again. Opposite side.
Get the puck! Let's go!
Knocks it back down. Makes its way outside into the neutral zone. Luca, pressure onto the puck. 28 seconds left on both penalties. Jaguars gather. Lucas out on the ice with Bobst. Lucas. Jags send it to the opposite side. So 4 seconds left. On this 5-on-3. So Thies joins Lucas and Bobs. Back down. Thies sends it all the way up the ice. And that kills off both penalties, so it's even strength again at the 4:20 mark. Lucas comes across center ice. Picks back up. Turns back, opposite side over to Doc. Doc, try to center it. Bops is there. Center pass gets knocked to the back wall. Jags pick it up into the corner. Oh my gosh, I don't know how that didn't go in. Doc on a foot race. Fisher helping him out. Goes off of Aiden's stick, picked up by Fisher, back out to Doc. Doc. And that goes into the bench. In zone face-off. Rotation of the line for Team Philadelphia. Nichols, Cusa. Kobe. Centering goes out to the goaltender. Kobe turns and fires. Sent all the way to the opposite wall. All the way back up to Tobin. Tobin in the clear. Sends it over to the opposite side to Ricky. Ricky back over to Kobe, standing right here. Tobin clears it back out in the zone. Back out to Ricky. Back checks. Back out to Cusa. Cusa try to send it long. Tobin, pressure onto the puck. Back out to the point for the Jags. Aiden with a nice save after a redirect. Cusa overruns the puck. Picked back up by Nichols. Nichols back over to Cusa. It's got Kobe on the opposite side. Little extracurricular activity. So offsetting penalties. At the 2:09 mark. Neutral zone face-off after a little bit of the altercation. Luca, Jake, Bart, Ricky, and Thies. Ricky back, sends it up into the neutral zone. Jaguars have to clear the zone. Pulled back by Thies. Luca tried to tap it forward. Bart's there. Goaltender sends it at the opposite side. Bart's back over to help. Bart center pass. Turns, fires, back over to Thies. Thies back into the neutral zone. Turns, sends it back. Luca, backhand, sends it back. Bart tries to pick it up. Thies is there, holds it in the zone. Luca gathers it. Shot attempt, goes wide. Pick back up into the neutral zone. 1 minute left in the game. That was an offsides, clear offsides. But Chad was going to come unhinged there because it was clearly an offsides. Puck is down, picked back up. Fisher knocks it back over to the sidewall, picked up by Nichols. Lucas is there, cycles it back out over to Bobs. Bobs try to send it into the corner. Jags get it. Bobs on a back check. Opposite side pass. Jags try to put it on net. Picked up by Nichols. 15 seconds. Back over to Fisher. 6, 5, 4, 3, and that will do it for this game. So Team Philly gets out ahead 5-0. Let's have 2 late goals to win this game. 5-2. I had 5-3 here, but it's 5-2. So that'll do it for this weekend. We have another game, I believe it's 7:45 on Tuesday against the Jaguars again. This time it'll be at Iceland, so make sure you folks join us for that.